So as a self-employed person, I often find it difficult to motivate myself enough to do things that I'm supposed to do. And over the past 2 years or so since I quit my full-time job, I think I actually struggled a lot with that. But over that time, I tried a bunch of different things to try to make myself more productive, and I found several things that work for me. So I want to share them with you today. So here are my 7 steps for getting things done, even when you don't feel like it. Okay, so if you don't feel motivated to do something, the first thing you should try is you should try changing your environment. So if you don't feel like doing some work at home, maybe try going into a cafe, a library, or maybe your school. And for me personally, I found that whenever I feel not so motivated at home, as soon as I go to my favorite cafe, my motivation picks up and it just becomes so much easier to get stuff done there. So I would say try to find a place that works the best for you, wherever that might be. And once you're in the right environment, in the right place, the next thing you should do, if you haven't done this yet, is you should write down all the tasks that you need to do or you want to do that day. And whenever you do this, I don't think the medium matters too much. So it doesn't matter too much if you use something like Evernote or another to-do app or just a piece of paper. Although personally, I like using Google Keep just because I think it's pretty simple to set up and pretty easy to use. And whatever the medium, I find that just writing down your tasks helps because it helps you focus more by basically having to keep fewer things in your head. After that, if you still don't feel motivated to do something, I would just start with a really small task. This could be something really simple like replying to your emails or something more fun, maybe like planning your next vacation. Whatever it might be, I find that just by completing this small task, you're going to be in the right mindset to start getting bigger tasks done. Of course, just be careful not to spend too much time on these small insignificant tasks. And after that, let's say that you have a bigger, more important task that you want to work on. It could be anything, but let's say just an example that you want to work on writing a blog article. Then if you still don't feel motivated to do that, I would ask yourself, why did you want to do that in the first place? And then I would sort of dig into your motivation by asking yourself why a bunch of times. So in this particular case, you might say, well, I wanted to write a blog article so that I can make some side income in the future through my blog. You might say, I want to be able to make some side income so that I can travel more in the future. And you might say, traveling is important for me because I want to be able to experience more things in the future. So that's your base motivation right there in this particular case. And of course, it might be something different for you, but whatever it is, if it's something that's strong enough and important enough, I believe that you should be able to just get started on your task and get your motivation up again. Anyway, after that, if you do decide that this particular task is important enough for you, then the easiest way to get started with it is by breaking it down to a really small first step. So in this particular case, instead of thinking about writing the whole blog article, think about maybe writing the first paragraph or writing the outline instead. If that seems like too much work for you, just think about writing down a few keywords that are going to be important in this particular article. So whatever your task is, you should be able to break it down to a small enough first step so that it's really easy to get started with. Okay, and after breaking your task down to a really small first step, if it's still too hard to get started with it, here's what I would do. I would tell yourself that you're gonna only work on this task for 5 minutes, and actually, use your phone's timer or something to time yourself for 5 minutes. If 5 minutes seems too long, just do 2 minutes. If that seems too long, just to 1 minute or 30 seconds. I think no matter how boring or painful your task is, you should be able to just work on it for 1 minute. And when that 1 minute is done, just ask yourself, can you do 2 minutes now, and then 4 minutes, 10 minutes, and 20 minutes, and so on. And that way you'll be able to actually increase the amount of time you focus on this task sort of gradually. By the way, I recommend using this app called Forest for this because I think it's a lot more fun way of timing yourself than just using a simple timer. Alright, the final thing I recommend for motivating yourself when you don't feel like it so much is using some kind of reward. This could be something really simple like eating a piece of snack that you wanted to eat earlier, or watching your favorite show that just came out. Whatever it is, just tell yourself that you can only do the thing after completing your task. Okay, so these are my 7 steps for getting stuff done. But actually there's one more thing I wanted to talk about, and that's music. So personally, I don't usually listen to music whenever I work on something because I can focus more that way. But I found that good music is really helpful whenever I work on something that's really boring. For me, it's usually like legal stuff or maybe tax related stuff. And by listening to music, it just becomes a little bit less boring. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. If there's any type of videos I should make in the future or any topics I should cover in the future, let me know in the comment section. And thank you as always for watching my videos. I will see you guys in the next one.